Hello, my name is Ilona and today is Friday, December 16th, 2022. And yesterday was an interesting day. I really had to laugh when I saw the digital cards from Mr. T as a superhero, and I immediately thought, well, that this is a troll action. That's what it seemed like to me. And I noticed a lot of people were disappointed. I actually shared two different channels with opinions. One was very disappointed in this, and the other one was like, keep the faith. Just look at all these cards. They have a lot of images, a lot of messages, and it was interesting. And of course, it was a troll action because the entire media jumped immediately on top of Mr. T for those digital cards and really roasting him. And then 2 hours later, the real message came out and he wants a digital bill of rights. Make sure that private companies are not allowed to just censor people or just decide which opinion is important and which isn't. And also people that work for federal bureau or certain agencies, that they are not capable of just going from one job to a private company which deals with social media. So there has to be a period of at least 7 years between working from one place to the other. Very interesting. But it really felt to me like, I do understand that some people were very disappointed and didn't really fully understand at that time what's going on with these digital cards. But this is really about, do you trust? Do you trust the plan? Do you trust God? Do you trust your connection with God? Do you believe that we are going to be fine? Because that's what this is about. You shouldn't be swept off your feet so easily by something that someone else does. Very important that we really look inward. If there's still some fear, maybe some distrust about things, could be past lifetimes, this lifetime, we have to deal with that. We really have to step into our trust. And like I said, I thought it was very humorous. I saw the humor of this. And ultimately, it was a troll action. And of course, the real message was something else. So really focus on trusting. Truly trusting, because that's the energy you'll send out and that's what you're going to attract. There were some other things I want to mention as well. Let's see, there was a Ukraine official that apparently in a hearing held by the US Helsinki Commission mentioned on Wednesday that Russia was apparently kidnapping a lot of children from the Ukraine. And that's very interesting because that's so typical dark energies. They always switch it around. They always manipulate and accuse others of what they're doing themselves. I truly believe that Russia liberated a lot of children from very awful situations there. But it's interesting that they're mentioning this. And I'm sure that ultimately, when the truth really will come out, we will understand it's the different way around. There were some things I looked at was the ectolife. That's the world's first artificial womb facility. And they can apparently choose their baby's level of intelligence, height, hair, eye color, physical strength, and even skin tone. So this is all part of the transhumanist agenda. They want to control it all. They want to control everything. The cards I got, and I shuffled them in my Dutch video if you want to see that. The first card was the world. That's the energy of the ectolife. The central card is the Four of Wands, which is quite interesting. In the past, we have the Six of Swords. Underneath the Four of Wands, we have the Knight of Swords. And for the future, near future, we have the Two of Swords. And we have the King of Pentacles, and I actually got an extra card to clarify, and that was the Emperor. This is this is showing the world really what this is about. They want to take control of everything. They don't want anything biological or any biological process, the natural way of creating babies. They don't want that at all. They want to get rid of most of humanity, and the humans that will remain, they want to take full control. They want to create a Borg like mind. So they want us all hooked in and they want to control what we think, what we feel, completely disconnected from source, from God. That is ultimately what they want. So this is actually a way of bringing people together and really thinking about what makes us human. It's our connection with people, with ourselves, around us, the beauty of creating life in a way, of course, given to us by God. They don't have that. They have no idea how to do this. This technology that they have, this artificial womb, is old alien technology. So they've had it for a very long time. I believe in Atlantis, they've used it for all kinds of things as well. They've done horrific experiments. They truly believe that they are God in a way, and they can get away with this, and they have the right to do this. It's very shocking. They have no respect whatsoever for life or for God or for source, nothing. So this is showing the people what's going on, what they truly want, because a lot of people don't even realize that this transhumanist agenda is the true agenda. They want full control over us. That's why they don't want us to have pets, because really, why would a cyborg have pets? It's really about full control. And it's about making our decision which timeline we want to be in. We truly have to start connecting with our intuition, with God, and really trusting that as well. Clean up things we need to clean up. But ultimately, I don't think this is going to happen. The military will take over, and it wouldn't surprise me if they've been taking over for quite some time. This is just part of their agenda to show things. People need to see it to understand it. Because a lot of people will not even realize that this is possible, that they have this artificial womb. It's just very science fiction for them. And we've had a lot of movies about this and TV series. That's how they program. So this is really to show the world what's really been going on. The second card reading I wanted to take a look at was something from a doctor named Ryan Cole. And there's it's a clip where he explains that not everyone that took the sting is injured, and it has to do with that the sting was not kept at the right temperature, and it actually destroyed the messenger in there. So I do truly believe that there's still completely different awful things in that sting to begin with, and they've gotten that anyway. Of course, there have been placebos as well. There have been nurses actually injecting saline solutions. So not everyone actually got the sting, but from some of the sting, I wanted to just take a look at that, if that was true or not. It felt like that to me, that it's a possibility, because the temperature is very important. And here in the Netherlands, we had a very strange case. I'm not even sure if I can completely explain this, but this is an article from February 9th, 2021, where the transport was done very amateuristic, and it was actually given to what we call a krokettenbakker, which is very difficult to explain. Kroketten is a snack in the Netherlands. So this person usually transports snacks, and in this case they used it for the stings. And that didn't go very well, because it wasn't the right temperature, and obviously it's very amateuristic. So they had to destroy most of the stings there. So I do agree that temperature and transport is very important. I've also read articles about freezers that were not right, or something happened to the freezer, so they had to destroy the stings in there because they couldn't use them anymore. So do realize that what he's saying, I do believe there's truth to it. The cards I got was the 4 of Wands, the 5 of Swords for the central card. We've got the 4 of Swords in the past. We've got Judgment under the central card. And for the near future, we have the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. So to me, this feels like it's about waking up people. I do believe that still the stings, there are a lot of other things happening around that. But in this case, I do believe that some stings people have received that didn't disconnect them, because ultimately the true dark energy sting is to disconnect us from God, to disconnect us from our intuition, from our feelings, so they'll be able to control us better. And I do believe that even if people have gotten the stinks, if they are still capable of feeling their intuition, if they're still capable of connecting to God, I believe they can still be saved. It has to do with awareness and realizing that we are very, very powerful. That's how I see things. I do not recommend in any way getting them. Really stay far away from them. But just in case people have gotten them and then later on, start waking up, start realizing things, they can still be helped. But it has to do with consciousness, their awareness, and it has to do, of course, with what they've gotten. But in this case, I think this will help even more people because they could have gotten stink, but it's not completely functioning correctly. So the messenger, which is the biggest problem, creating all these spike, how do you say this? I've got the Dutch word now in my head, but they've created all these, no, I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about. I kept thinking about the Dutch word eiwitten, and it creates all these things. So they create blood clots. It just, the weakest part in your immune system is what they will attack. And this messenger just keep giving the message that it has to be created. All these spike proteins have to be created. And that's mainly the biggest issue there. Doesn't mean there is not something else in there as well. So ultimately, this is also about waking up people, maybe also giving a bit of comfort for people that have gotten it. That doesn't mean that this is really the end. It can still mean there are chances that you can still get out of this or heal from this. I do believe that it has to do with your awareness and if you can still connect with source, with God, with your intuition, because we are very, very powerful beings and we can truly heal ourselves. So I guess this is in a way comforting to hear that maybe your loved ones are still capable of making it through this. Although, like I said, there are still other things in that sting as well. But, there have been placebos given, there have been saline, nurses actually using that instead of the stings. So things happened as well. And I do believe that he is correct that some stings are not functioning properly and they were not on the right temperature, they were not transported the right way, and that will have an effect, obviously. So I do believe there is still hope for people that have gotten the stings or maybe not even completely aware of what is going on. But ultimately, it is about awareness. It's about if you can still connect, because that's what they want. I'm still reading the Hacking the God Code from Patricia Corey, who's mentioning that's of course part of the transhumanist agenda to really disconnect us from God, disconnect us from source, from our feelings, from our intuition, from our spiritual, emotional side, and truly want to take over the entire, humanity and just really make something inorganic, ultimately, create us as some kind of cyborg. That's what they want. They want to override the God code in our cells, in our DNA, so they can take over, they can hack us. That's really ultimately what they want. It's not going to happen, but it's good to know that not everything is functioning properly and that people still have a chance of healing from this. If there is awareness, I think that is the most important thing. If someone still can connect with their intuition, God, then they can heal themselves. So I'd like to leave it at this and hope to see you in another video. Bye.